Stay right where you are.
Extra chatter for your binge. This is a podcast-exclusive episode of Chatterbinge.
This is Chatterbinge.
It is a single word with a definition that must be stretched to fit the requirements and idiosyncrasies of the person who is attempting to use it. That word is contentment. What really is contentment, and what does it truly mean for you? Caryn, I contend that the definition changes as one's life evolves.
I would absolutely agree with that. 100%. I think my first question for you, because I know the answer for myself, have you ever, for an extended period of time, truly felt contentment?
No. And I guess I should define that no. There are so many different moving parts in everyone's life. Your personal life, your professional life, so many different things. How you feel about yourself. You have your own personal life, the life that no one knows about, your internal conversation with yourself. I've never been completely content because, to me, in many parts of my life, I've always been looking for that next and what comes next. I am a person with tremendous drive. I yearn. I strive. I want and I crave. I hunger for many different things in life. And perhaps I've never felt total, complete contentment for a period of time because I don't believe that certain parts of my journey are complete, especially professionally. From a family point of view, I'm someone who has been married for 31 years. If that defines contentment, okay, I guess that defines contentment in that part of my life. But professionally and in other respects, no.
That was exactly how I thought you would answer that question. Knowing you as I do, and you have said this very publicly, you are driven, you are ambitious. I've watched you. I see what you've accomplished here, elsewhere in your life. And I also understand that being driven is a bit of a setup for a lack of contentment because you're never quite where you want to be. And I share that in a lot of ways. I think for me, the difference is I'm way lazier than you are. So I might find contentment in ways, and it's not that I don't try hard and that I am not also driven, but I could never match you, nor would I be happy with that, because for me, it would be a more difficult journey to not feel like where I am is okay, even if I want more. And I get the feeling from you, which is a good thing, by the way, from my perspective. If you're going to accomplish the things that you at Kalegi want to accomplish, you have to be wired the way you are. If I had those strengths, I dare say that I would have had a much bigger career. I'm not putting down my career by any means. I'm grateful for every moment of it. But had I really had that focus, that need, that drive, that energy behind me, I would have pushed. I would have made sure that I didn't rest until I had achieved certain things. And I always walked a weird line between trying unbelievably hard and putting all of my energy into something and then going in the exact opposite direction. I sort of go up and down with that. So I really admire what you're saying and that superpower that you have to be that accomplished. But there's a caveat there. At what point do you feel in your soul, even for a short period of time, that I'm at peace here? I'm okay right here without anything else. Do you have those moments?
I'm not there yet. Now, I hope that that's down the road somewhere. I'm not there yet. I do have moments. All right, if there are moments of satisfaction when I accomplish certain things professionally. Now, you got to keep in mind with me, I was a late starter to all this. All right. If folks that have listened to parts of Chatterbinge, especially in the beginning, the interview that you did with me about my book, if you've read my book, I got sidetracked for a very long time. I got away from what I really wanted to do for a long, long period of time and a large number of years. And I still feel like I'm trying to catch up. I still feel as if I have to do 70 in the 55 zone to be able to get where I need to be because I missed out on lost time. And maybe that's what drives me more now. I think I'm more driven at 50, almost 59 years old than somebody who's 32 because I really haven't tasted what I've wanted to taste yet. And maybe if I had stuck to the career I wanted back then and not get kind of pointed into other directions foolishly, maybe I would have a better personal definition of what contentment is, or be able to stop and smell the roses, as they say. But no, I'm not there yet. And I don't know if I'm ever going to get there because I'm wired the certain way I am. When my book came out, I was very happy about that. Terrific. Hey, I got a book event here. This is wonderful and all these things. And hey, here it really is. When this show debuted, hey, this is terrific. This is something I've always wanted to do. But I always see myself as being able to take what I currently have and take it to the next step because I feel I have visions as to what I think certain things in my life can and should be. And that is what drives me. And that's just the way I'm wired. It's very hard to go into your own system and rewire it from the way it was originally wired. I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. I wouldn't even want to call an electrician and have him do that. This is who I am and it's how I operate. And I don't know if that's a healthy thing. For me, it works. 15-hour days doing this. I love it because it's what I've always wanted to do. Because I have a feeling as to where this can go. The things in my own professional life. I want to get back into acting. I actually had a conversation with somebody yesterday about that. So there are certain things that I want to do because I feel like I missed out. When I look at you, I see someone who had her own sitcom when she was 30 years old. That's a wonderful accomplishment. How many people get to say that? And I don't know if that affected how you felt about the rest of your career. I think you've had a wonderful career. You continue to work now. You're always auditioning. You're in the game. You are excited about what you do. You have a passion for what you do. There is no reticence to what you do. You have a passion to stay in the arena, as they speak. You and I are wired a lot more closely than I think you believe. And I think we just go at it, though, from a different approach. But I still think we're trying to get to the same thing. You work as hard as I do. I work as hard as you do. We're in different lanes the way we approach it. So I think that might define both of us a little bit.
No, very much so. And, first of all, thank you for sharing what you just did. And I don't mean it to sound like a therapy session, but, that's the inside scoop on Ed Kalegi right there. Your drive and what you want to accomplish. And I truly believe that you will not stop. My only fear for you is, will you recognize it when you get there? Or does it just keep getting pushed out further and further?
No. When I'm there, I'll know it. There is a finite moment in my mind, and I know what it looks like. I know what it tastes like. I know what it smells like. When I get there, quite honestly, you'll be the first to know.
All right. I can't wait. I'm standing at that finish line waiting for you, cheering you on. As far as me, please don't misunderstand. I am terribly grateful / proud of what my career has been, but I also know my weaknesses. And although we share a similarity in terms of the success, you won't stop. I've watched you. I will stop. I have stops and starts. I get waylaid. I go rescue animals instead, or, get all wrapped up in some other things, or don't keep my eye on the ball as much as I should. But honestly, I am making that choice. And if we want to define contentment, I have sort of, if this can even be said in the same breath, a level of dissatisfied contentment, which sounds ridiculous.
She just
And an
made up her own
oxymoron.
segment, folks. Here we go. She just totally changed the whole concept. Wow. Disenchanted contentment.
Or I said dissatisfied, but maybe
dissatisfied.
disenchanted is in
I'm
there too.
sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's the same, the same sort of vibe. It's kind of like they walk hand in hand. I have moments throughout every day, they might be short, where I actually recognize for myself, this is contentment right here in this second for a fleeting moment. Everything is where it needs to be. Everything's lined up. My emotions, everybody's safe. Everybody, I saved a cat. Nobody's in trouble. I did a good audition that I'm proud of. Helped a friend. Accomplished something I needed to do today. And in that moment, it's like, okay, peace, which is how I define contentment. The lack of peace in always wanting more, that's a challenge. Can they walk hand in hand? That's what I meant by sort of dissatisfied contentment. It's both. I want more. I reprimand myself. I need to push harder. I need to do more. I need to get more involved. I need to do better. I have it in me to do better. And then there's the, oh my gosh, I've been pushing all my life, both within my family, within, my world of my professional life, even to a certain extent in my social life, the energy to cultivate friends and nurture those friendships and be there for other people. Sometimes contentment, it's, sitting there by myself with candles burning in the bathtub, wasting water in Los Angeles, because you're not supposed to do that. It's little moments. And I guess that's what I'm wondering for you. Do you have a moment at your son's game when he's announcing where you sit there and realize, in this moment, I'm incredibly content?
Yes. And, it's funny you said that because he started a new job with Major League Baseball last week. It's where he is right now as we're recording this. And with the Major League Baseball network, TV network. And when he left that day, sort of the first day of school, I was incredibly content that there he is beginning his journey at 22 years old, doing exactly what he wants to do. The other day, he's broadcasting a gymnastics meet on television, and I'm sitting in my living room watching him on television do that. Super Bowl Sunday started with watching him do the play-by-play of a college basketball game. That's incredibly filled with contentment for me, but it's contentment for him because I'm happy for him. He's getting to begin his journey at 22 where he should and where I should have. And that makes me feel so happy for him that he'll never be sidetracked in that way. So am I living vicariously through him? No, but maybe I'll grab some contentment from that and I will usurp that for myself. And it's funny as you said this, somebody said something to me 2 weeks ago, and I haven't even thought about this until you just brought this up, about stopping and smelling the roses and having a moment of contentment. 2 weeks ago, I went back to my high school, and I was invited back to speak to the students. And one of the students came up to me afterwards and said, "It must be a great feeling to do what you always wanted to do." And I have not even thought about that until you just said that. And in that moment, it was weird to hear someone who I didn't even know say that to me in a building where the dream all started 40-something years ago. And you know what? For that one moment, I do have to admit, I had a tremendous amount of contentment because I am doing exactly what I've always wanted to do. So if that's contentment, I guess I do have contentment. So you've totally changed the whole definition for me. So for that one moment, I did have that moment. So there.
Good. I'm glad that you did.
All right.
Really.
Yeah.
It's so well deserved. And I think we'd have to get really specific about the definition of contentment, which we're playing with in this segment. Is it feeling that you've arrived career-wise? Is it just looking out the window and seeing that the spring buds are coming out on the trees. I'm in Nashville right this second, so that's probably not the case in LA. But, is it seeing snow fall from the sky and just smiling at nature? Is it, I don't know, any number of things. The list gets, ridiculous to start listing things. But is it those moments, or is it the bigger stuff? Like, can you be content and still be as driven as you are? And I think what I'm trying to mirror back to you is I think we can do both. I think we can strive for more constantly and aim in that direction while you also appreciate the smaller, more simple things in life. So contentment, it's such an interesting question to even stop and ask ourselves.
And I think that we've kind of surmised that maybe there isn't a Merriam-Webster definition of contentment. Maybe your contentment is good for you, my contentment is good for me, and you listening, your contentment is good for you. And contentment is simply something that you have until you need more contentment. I don't know.
The never-ending search. That doesn't sound like contentment.
Now we're talking in circles. I think we better stop here.
I think so too.
My mind has just been blown. I'm Ed Kalegi.
And I'm Caryn Richman. And this is Chatterbinge.
3, 2, 1. Great conversations happen here. Chatterbinge.
And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can always catch our best guest conversations and segments right here on the YouTube home of Chatterbinge.